So Edeneth was hands down the biggest, most ambitious production we've attempted to date. Even though it's just a Minecraft machinima, it was still a constant learning process of inventing and reinventing the processes and methods that we use to shoot across multiple updates to the game and different mods that became available over time.
If I had to put Edeneth into one short and concise little sentence, I would say it was definitely a very slow and painful learning process, but very, very necessary.
Starting at the beginning, I still remember the day that we conceived Edeneth. It was on a stream. What we ended up doing was just messing around and running around this space, just messing with different contraptions. And when I saw the different sort of contraptions that Lauren had operating, it started feeding me some ideas. See, just stuff like this gives me ideas for like web series stuff, and just have like this really overpowered character. Oh man. That's basically always in creative mode, you know? But everybody else isn't in creative mode. Everybody else is in survival mode.
Hilarious.
No. It's not. No, but not in like a funny sense, but in like a Superman sense, you know? That eventually became the basis of Scourge, and then from there, we built the whole mythos of this world around this conflict with this very all-powerful being. After that, we started brainstorming a little bit, and eventually we came up with the idea of this very peaceful and tranquil kingdom. And we put 5 cities in it and 1 capital city. And so with those set in place, once we had the basic fundamentals of the world, and once we'd named all of the cities and had these different locations in mind, then I handed that over to Lauren, who would lead the build team in creating these locations so that we could shoot on them.
Well, we knew there was going to be 5 cities. We knew there was going to be a capital, and the capital was going to be in the center of those 5 cities. We knew all that going into it. Came up with the story, started thinking of cities, started thinking of like ideas for the cities. Like we already knew that I think Pollux was going to be the technological city, so we already knew that was going to be the theme of that city. And going into it, we kind of already knew the themes of most of the cities.
The building and the writing processes were kind of going on simultaneously. So the building definitely lasted a lot longer than the writing. Once we had all the cities, we were able to start building them, and then once they were built, a little bit of the locations started informing the writing. So at first the writing informed the building, and then the building informed the writing, and I started picking specific locations from the world to write scenes for and things like that.
If you want to start at step 1, was just looking for the right seed of Minecraft. So basically just load up a world, open up the biggest map you could find, fill the map, and does it satisfy these conditions? No? Alright, move on over and over and over again until we found one that satisfied all our conditions. Then it was trying to figure out where every city would go. So what we would do is we would take beacons, plop a beacon down as a marker, and then came the part of trying to, fit a city into those areas. Originally what we did was everything by hand, using game mode 1 commands to flatten areas and just start building everything by hand. But that was taking too long, so I looked into using MC Edit. When we started getting MC Edit in, it really fast-tracked a lot of those, just forming the environment to start building.
So basically, I just kind of sat down and over a single winter hammered out all of the scripts for the episodes, at least the first drafts of them. So once we had that done, and once we had a fair amount of building done, at least enough to show for our efforts, then we took to the web and shared the open casting call announcement, which was very well received and got us a lot of volunteers that definitely increased our manpower. From that point onward. It was definitely this huge boom in production after that open casting call went out.
The internet's a strange place. Everybody has an idea, and their idea is great. And sometimes it actually is, but how do you know? You have to prove that your idea is worth investing in. So of course we had to get a lot of the big, eye-grabby buildings done, and most of the cities done, before we can even, start asking people to help build the rest of the city. So I think by that time, most of Centaurus and the capital had been finished. And we were able to show, this is kind of the production quality that we're looking for. Do you want to be a part of this?
I basically developed a little bit of a treatment document to be able to share with people who are coming on board, to give them a basic gist of the story without having to read all the scripts, and the characters as well, as we were starting to cast people.
And a lot of builders started coming in. It was a huge influx of builders. Just came in and it's like, all right, everybody, like you two, you go in this area and you start building stuff. It's got to meet this criteria. and, using these kind of materials. And then I would just check up on them every now and then. It's like, oh, now there's a village there. When did that happen? It really sped up the process, and it was really cool because then I went from actually building buildings with myself to directing people to start building things using the concepts that I had that I don't actually have to physically get in there and build myself.